Welcome to Soul Searching. Today we're going to discuss Ashmore Estates Poor Farm and Asylum, which is located in Ashmore, Illinois. And this place, I think, lived up to its haunted reputation. I think we captured some really good stuff here. The really cool thing about this place is it's set up to make investigating easy and really comfortable without losing any of the atmosphere of where you are at and what it had been previously and what it is now. In this investigation, we had seasoned investigator Brian leading us. It was so cool. I really learned a lot about paranormal investigating. Brian was just awesome, don't you think?
Shouts out to Brian.
Let's start with the claims. You will see full-bodied apparitions, shadow people, mist, demons in the boiler room and on the third floor. You will hear voices, footsteps. You will feel cold, sick, like you can't breathe, touched, pushed, shoved, and thrown. I think our investigation established 4 of those claims and even 2 additional claims.
Ooh.
You captured a shadow figure, and I want to go over, that's going to be the first clip I want to talk about, because I think you're really going to freak on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one to freak on it.
You captured a lot of evidence here. You were the one who heard the footsteps too. I was taking pictures. I think I caught some mist. Voices, I heard them in real time. And when we view the clips, you'll see that I even said I heard a voice, and then you can hear it on the audio. As well, we caught EVPs. In addition to the claims, you captured something moving. And all 3 of us heard knocks. All right, you ready for some history?
Sure thing, my guy.
In the 19th century, the United States required each state to have a poor farm where its residents could be self-sufficient and responsible for growing their own food, caring for their livestock, and maintaining their own buildings. To enable this self-sufficiency, in 1870, the state of Illinois moved their Coles County Poor Farm to 267 acres in the township of Ashmore, where a new building was constructed. The residents took care of themselves, and very little was contributed by the state. The poor farm had insufficient heat, no ventilation, no plumbing, no place to care for the mentally ill, and no safety standards. It did have rats and insect infestations. And by 1880, the poor farm had its share of sickness, injuries, and death. Most notably, Elva Skinner. She was a little girl who was just 13 days shy of her 5th birthday. It was February, and due to the lack of a proper heating system, unsafe fires were necessary for warmth. Elva was dressing and her skirt caught fire. She burned to death. Today, Elva is said to be one of the voices you hear and one of the apparitions you see at Ashmore Estates. 31 years later, the state of Illinois condemned the poor farm and they tore it down. A new fireproof building was constructed on the property. This new building opened in 1916 and operated until 1959. It was during this time when Joe Bloxam was a resident. He was a mentally challenged man who was in charge of maintenance. and it is claimed that he still maintains the building today. Joe can be seen and heard at Ashmore Estates, and it is said he becomes aggressive if he thinks you are harming his building. In 1959, the property was sold to Ashmore Estates, which was a private psychiatric hospital until 1964. Due to debt, in 1965, it began accepting patients from state mental institutions. From 1959 until 1976, Ashmore Estates could not keep up to code. It was during this time period that an estimated 200 people died and many were buried on the grounds. In 1976, ownership changed and the facility was brought up to code with a new addition constructed. However, Ashmore Estates still suffered financial loss and closed permanently in April 1986. For 20 years, it sat abandoned and it earned an evil reputation. From 2006 until 2010, it became a haunted attraction, and now it's a paranormal investigators attraction. And it's just horrific that between 1959 and 1976, over 200 deaths occurred there. That's not normal. I can't wait to hear what you think about this shadow figure. Let's take a look. If you stand in the hallway outside your room, I will take your picture on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. If you stand in the hallway outside your room, I will take your picture on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
It doesn't look like a shadow person walking. It looks like somebody's light goes out. Like there's somebody's, like, maybe not even an LED, but like a screen or something, like somebody had their cell phone on. That's kind of what it looks like.
Well, I didn't have any light. Brian had a camera, but I believe it was IR. You were the only one with the LED light, and you were using the Sony.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't look like a shadow person to me.
Well, to me it looks like it comes from the left, steps in front of the camera, blurs it, and then the green light just completely goes away. I don't know. They say on that 3rd floor that you see shadow figures all in the hallway, and that lives up to the claims. I guess you're just not convinced, hey?
I guess I'm just not convinced.
I think it's a shadow figure. The EVP in there we'll deal with later. Let's move on to my photos. I think I have missed. So what'd you think?
Okay.
That first one was when I took a picture of the boiler room.
Let's go through each.
Or I don't even know what that is, but it was like that bricked area, and it looks like flames. I've never had that happen on my cell phone before, but I believe you and a couple others were saying overexposure.
Yeah, okay. What I want to do is I want to go through each of these. I'm not even going to consider like paranormal stuff. I'm just going to use my expertise in cameras to tell you what I think happened.
Okay, please do.
This looks like you took a picture while moving the camera and it's overexposed. So what cell phone cameras do, they have all the normal like settings of like a DSLR, but it does everything automatically. So like you don't have user input. So what it was probably trying to do, since you're going down in the boiler room, you're probably going from a light area to a slightly darker area. So the camera probably freaked out with overexposure, trying to compensate. And while you were moving, it just freaked out and did this.
Okay, this is the 3rd floor hallway. I took that picture, and I took a series of pictures, and then, they were just like one right after the other, and then it eventually just becomes a normal picture.
It looks like you have very bright light, like, raking over the lens. That's what it looks like when that happens to other cameras that I use.
A flash might have went off. Don't the cameras, the cell phone cameras?
Yeah, your camera has a flash, so it could have been. Also, your LED is right next to the camera on your phone. So if you did turn on the flash,
I think it's auto. And it was very dark in that hallway, even though it was daytime, because it was evening actually. The sun was setting, and there's no lights in that hallway, so it's not.
And do you see the purple tone to it?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. It looks like a purple mist.
Most phone LEDs have like a purple tinge to it. So that's what I think may have happened was the timing or whatever was wrong with the LED and the camera. And it just like raked over the lens and caused there to be like a glare over the glass.
Yeah, but in a picture after picture. See, that's the room to the right. It's
and you can even see like on that wall you do have your flash on and it's very bright. And having
the flash, I admit, was probably on because it was so dark in there.
And having something so bright reflect that close to your lens as well can also cause this effect to happen.
Okay, let's see if the last picture is reflecting off something, because the last picture is normal. See?
Yeah, see, you don't have that big.
So that's what you're saying is because when the flash went off on that that piece of wall, it caused that purple effect in this room. Is that what you're saying?
For this, because you have that object so close to the flash, it's reflecting back at the lens and raking off of the glass, and it's causing there to be this weird glare. I think it's also a mix of whatever is happening earlier in the hallway, where the LED is so bright in this environment, and your phone camera isn't that like great, so like it's just raking off of the lens in a weird glary way.
See, now look at the wheelchair. Nothing. Look at the arm. There we go. See, the white mist is on the arm of the wheelchair. And there it's not on the arm of the wheelchair there. And those are pictures just right after each other. That definitely looks like a mist to me on the arm of that wheelchair.
An explanation for this could be the contrast is being really weird, because you notice how these bricks are light in the normal one, and then you go over here and it's so like pixely and zoomed in and low res that it's like feathering into the darker areas.
I did the picture, I zoomed in on that, but that's not the original
picture.
I know it's the distant one.
I know it's not the original, but just like the resolution of this area is so small that these lighter areas would feather in with the darker areas if it's like slightly defocused in that area, or if the contrast is off. Again, these cameras do these things automatically. Like, you don't get to control the contrast, you don't get to control the exposure. So like, you will get weird looking stuff like this when you just have a phone camera doing this.
It's a mist. I set out the evidence clips in the way that we went through the asylum. So we're going to start with the tour.
Investigation, and so he's taken a whole lot of consideration. Bathrooms
Okay.
are right there.
Good to know.
They're unisex, so there's no, it is a working bathroom. It has a flush toilet, it has a sink, big bright light on the outside. You guys will have a key.
Come around. Is that the one that Elva died in? That fire?
Yes.
So that building is here.
That building sat on this exact
Okay.
footprint that this one is on, so it's more or less on the same property where Elba was. During the Poor Farm era, as the women's dining, the two little cubbies you see kind of on either side of the windows, that was where they kept their dinnerware, their At one point it was coal. At one point it was coal. At one point it was coal. This is the area that Joe is known to be. Sadly, Joe has gotten the reputation of, I love you, Joe, as I say this, remember these things. Being mean, being evil, being grumpy. Through some investigations over the last 2 to 3 years, we have discovered there is a second entity.
Oh God, my worst nightmare.
I'll do mice, I'll do bats, I will, I'll do 8-legged, 100-legged,
Right, and I imagine I'd hear
We're walking past the original front door to the building. And then,
Oh, the spider webs. She's an arachnid. She don't sound like a ghost, but there's a spider in there.
Oh yes, therapy where I need to be.
Now, isn't there an unmarked cemetery on the property?
we did have actually 2 former caretakers' daughters that lived on the property with their parents while it was a poor farm. And they were both remember as little girls looking out the north windows, and there was a tree back quite a ways that had like 4 or 5 graves around it. But sadly, that's gone. No more headstones, no more. So I would love to believe that the bodies were moved before farmers took over, but I fear it probably is not the case. Now, like I said, we're kind of just getting into the same footprint as the second floor.
What'd you think of those EVPs? The usual?
Yeah. It's like, they just sound like shuffling on the floor, or like maybe somebody was whispering. You know, when you're in a big group, people whisper even though you're not supposed to.
Well, I just want to point out the one that you said therapy. It's something I need, something to that effect.
Where I need to be.
Yeah, and then it said my fear. At that, when I heard that, it just gave me chills. You know, I don't know. I really think we caught a dead person talking about their experience there at Ashmore. The Welcome to Hell. I know you don't think it says that, but we're gonna revisit that EVP because we got something else to back that up when we did our investigation on the first floor. So that's coming up. And but what I did, you can't deny this, and I want to know what your opinion is on it. That static that was up on the 3rd floor.
That sounded like somebody that sounded like plastic, like a bag being opened, like a zipper bag, like a
Really?
I don't know what it is, but like it sounds like something happening in the room rather than something happening on the camera audio. So I think it's just somebody opening like a weird zipper or something. That's what it sounds like. It's like somebody slowly opening a zipper.
Okay. To me, it just sounded like static that came from nowhere. The first place we went to start our investigation was up on the 3rd floor. So you want to play that clip? And we'll see what you think.
These lights should continue to come on.
Yeah, they'll come on automatically, is what she said. That's the only thing that works that we don't.
Stairs, my old
So what I've noticed from watching the evidence that I found on this place is they seem to get a lot of quality EVPs.
Is anybody in here?
So,
We were told this is where the nurses would have their break. Are there any nurses left? Were you here when this was a psychiatric center?
What about the little girl?
Is Elva here?
Shannon, ask for Joe.
Is Joe here? I heard you got hit by a train, Joe. I also heard that you were mentally challenged. I heard that you were a really good caretaker and that you were really proud of your job. Did you like your job, Joe? People were always complimenting you on your job. Did you like it when people complimented you on how well you did your job? Is it you, Joe, that negatively affects people? Or is it something else? Because I heard that people really liked you when you were living. Why are you so grumpy now? Is anybody else here? Can you come play the game with us? Can you knock on the wall? If you knock, we'll knock back. Do you hear that?
That's Lorraine.
No, it sounded like a child's voice. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Like down the hallway. Is that you, Elva?
I didn't hear.
Yeah, I didn't.
Alright, let's focus on the old-timey wheelchair.
Is anybody in here? If you stand in front of this camera, I can see you. It picks up your body heat.
If there's anyone here with us, can you make the chair move? Make the wheelchair move for us. I know things have moved in here before. Push that wheelchair for us.
It's me setting my recorder down.
Is there anyone here that can tell us their name?
I thought I heard footsteps.
Can you knock 3 times back if you need my help? I heard some.
I heard a knock.
Can you walk towards us? Can you do anything to make your presence known? We'd love to talk to you.
That wasn't any of us, right?
No, and it
I didn't
came
move.
from up there.
When I was in here earlier today, I heard noises like that too. If you want us to stop at your room, you're gonna have to ask us to, because we're just gonna walk by. If you want us to come visit you, ask us to come. Can we turn these lights out? Okay, everybody needs to come meet in the big room. Katie's gonna sing.
Oh no, I'm not.
Do you guys want to hear Katie sing?
Why are you doing this to
Because
me?
the ghost would probably like it. Is there anybody in this big room? I think we should have a party. Joe's birthday's coming up. Do you guys want to celebrate Joe's birthday? Are you standing in the hallway? Did you hear that?
Sounds like it was coming from downstairs.
I think that was downstairs as well. But
I
yeah.
thought I heard a yes. Like a drawn out yes. If you're standing in the hallway, I'll take your picture. You gonna come to the party? All 3 floors are invited.
Oh, that was me cracking my knuckle.
Okay, if you stand in the hallway outside your room, I will take your picture on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I think somebody's coming up the stairs because the light just went on. Is somebody coming up the stairs? It just went off. That's weird. Nobody's coming up the stairs. Are you coming to the party? We're going to celebrate Joe's birthday. That light went on and off. Are you down by the front door? Oh, did you hear noise?
Yeah.
Should.
It sounded like somebody throwing a rock in there.
Did you throw something?
Sorry.
Watch
Does it mean you don't want to come to the party?
If you want to hear my mom sing, knock or turn on a light.
Oh, the light's on. Okay. Do you guys like jingle bells? Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what
I was
fun
not
it is
serious
to
about
ride
that.
in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, join with me. Everybody sing with me. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Turn the light back on if you want me to sing another one. That was awesome that you turned that light on. Did anybody mark the time so we can ask them things?
Was that on before we got in here? or-
No, this light came on. Didn't you see
The
the
light
come
down the
on?
hall came on.
The one down at the end of the hall.
Oh, I thought you meant that orange thing up
No,
there.
the one down at the hall
And
again.
down the hall came on there for just a brief second.
Oh, did you move a table?
That may have been somebody downstairs.
I don't know if that would echo that loud. It sounded like it was in this room.
No, it sounded like it was through at least a wall. Thank God I threw you under the bus just before that light went on.
It didn't want to hear you. It wanted to hear me.
Motion detected, so they come on as you
Go up the
up
steps.
the steps.
Okay, I'm thinking that's you, so I'll sing another one. Here is one of my favorites. I don't know if the Poor Farm people have heard this one before.
How condescending of you.
What?
I don't know if the Poor Farm people...
Because the Poor Farm closed in 1916, and I believe this song wasn't. Oh, you want to hear it? Okay. And so I believe this song came out in the 50s. So I think that the hospital patients would know this one. It's my favorite. It's called Rudolph.
God.
You should sing. Turn on the light if you want to hear Katie sing with me this time. We can make her sing too. Alright, just me. Alright. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever... Okay, it's on.
That could have been done. Okay.
What about the front entrance stairwell? Were you guys messing around there?
Yeah, we were down there a while ago.
And turning the light on?
Yeah.
Get debunked, man.
You guys! I thought it was you guys doing it. I'm not so sure it was them because...
Even though they said we were there.
Yeah, but it didn't say when. I mean, we were up on that floor for what, an hour and a half? Isn't that how long we investigated every floor?
No.
But usually when we did encounter them, they were really noisy. I mean, they were laughing and giggling and talking. And if that through that whole series there, when those lights were turning on, there were no noises like it was the other team in those hallways. And when we get to the first floor, I've got clips from the stairwell where you can hear them because the noise traveled the most in the stairwell. So I'll point that out again when we get there, and we're going to do the first floor next. Just a couple points I want to make. I said the Poor Farm closed in 1916. I was wrong. That's when the new building was built for the Poor Farm. The Poor Farm actually closed in the 50s. Oh, the tag moving. What'd you think about that? That was really cool. I mean, everything we got, I know you don't hear the EVPs, it just seemed like intelligent responses. You know? So that's why I put a little bit more validity to it, because it was responsive to what we were asking and talking about at the time.
My thoughts on the tag moving, I have two options for it. I don't know how valid they are, but it looked like maybe there could have been like a bug crawling on the back of it. Like that could have caused it to move, or it could have been like a gust of wind.
Where would we look at a gust of wind?
Or like draft, you know?
A draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because drafts are weird, like pressure changes in rooms and stuff. And that building is so like open to the elements and stuff.
True.
So that could have been an option. Again, with the bug crawling on it, could have been a thing. I don't know, man. Or maybe it was like folded in a weird way, and like the movement in the room finally caused it to unfold.
Well, we were in there for a long time, and that's the only time it moved.
I don't know, man. I'm just giving you my explanations. That would not be a dead person did it.
I think a spirit was responding, and they didn't have enough energy to move what was it, a wheelchair?
Yeah, it's a wheelchair.
To move the wheelchair. However, they could move the tag. And when we investigate on the first floor, I'm going to point something out to you too that may add a little more validity to that tag moving. Now, when we got to the shadow, I left it completely unedited, and we figured out that the flash that little spot of light came from my thermal camera when I took a picture. However, I still believe that had nothing to do with that dark figure moving from the left, blurring the camera out, and then covering that green light. It's a shadow figure.
Because cameras are notoriously good at focusing on things in the dark.
Well, that third floor is notoriously known for having shadow people walk around in the halls, and I think we experienced that. Now, some people think the third floor is the scariest, the creepiest, the most active. And yeah, we got activity there, but I think the most interactive was the first floor. And that was my favorite floor, and that includes the boiler room. So let's play that clip. The dive bombing. I'm not into that.
Well, the camera's open.
Are you down here, Joe? Is that your boiler? Is that your boiler? Is that your boiler? Is that your boiler? So this is the room for the editor oven that is holes. Oh, there's one right there, isn't it?
No.
Oh, no, it's
That's
not.
like metal.
Is anybody in here?
Let me sit down.
I heard, Joe, that you like to hang out down here. Is this where you used to keep your tools?
Let me sit down.
I heard, Joe, that you like to hang out down here. Is this where you used to keep your tools? When you were here, what was your favorite thing to do? Can you tell me about your job? Is anybody else down here with Joe? What's your name? Can you make that ball move? Why are you in the basement? Elva, are you down here? Do you like to play with that ball?
I'm gonna move. Where's the ball?
It's over against the wall. That's Katie walking. Where that guy got thrown down the steps, but then
Also, that stairwell is the only one with, is like original from.
yeah, why are we gonna do this stairwell? Is there anybody in here?
You think they could clean those spider webs?
Damn, they're aesthetic.
Right.
Did you push that man down these steps? Or did he fall because he was drunk? That's me sitting down in the spider webs. I don't mind spiders, but don't bring me bats. It's me doing my camera back. Oh, yeah, I got my.
I prefer bats any day. Give me a rabies, not a spider bite.
As long as it's not a brown recluse or a black widow, man. Are you in this hallway, Joe? Adam?
Adam.
Yeah, that's another name people get here. Elva? Have you found your mother, Elva? Do you miss your mother? Man, it's so cool, original stair. The door is a brick too, maybe? Yes, it doesn't look like it's been updated. Has anybody ever fallen down these steps? Can you come closer to me? Can you make footsteps? Ooh, did it flicker?
Yeah, the light just flickered a little bit.
Did you do that? Can you do that again? Did you die here? How many are here? Was that your stomach?
Yeah.
She needs a snack.
No, it just made a noise. I'm not hungry.
Alright, it's 11:45.
Oh.
Should we go check in with the group?
Okay, we gotta leave now. If you want to follow us, you can.
And that screaming bug can stay exactly where it is.
Thanks for keeping the bats away, Joe. Yeah, I mean, these steps are so irregular if you're drunk going down them. I don't think it's a demon.
No. Demon of alcohol.
Demon.
What do you think of the first floor?
That's alright.
Well, I just want to point out, and it goes back to the tag where we asked them to move the ball, and we caught an EVP that says move the ball. I really do think the spirits at Ashmore Estates are very cooperative and intelligent. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think they're ghosts, man.
And finally, we got our 3 knocks. We asked for 3 knocks all through the night. Now, when we went to this stairwell, and one reason why I included so much footage of the stairwell, it's back to that idea that the stairwells carried a lot of noise. So when another team was in a stairwell, we could hear them. And if you listen, you can hear them in the background in that stairwell. Now, when we were on the 3rd floor and the lights were flickering, and by the way, they didn't stay on like someone was staying in the stairwell. They just flickered on and then they went off. So I still think it could have been a spirit turning on those lights, especially since it was upon command. We said, do you want me to sing? Turn on the light. What happened? The light turned on. That goes back to the ball and the tag. We asked them to move something, and we got intelligent responses.
Okay.
The spirits at Ashmore Estates are really awesome. Now that little room under the stairwell, that's where we captured that EVP, Welcome to Hell. If you notice, when Brian walked into that same little room under the stairwell, we captured a similar sounding EVP that said, you want it. You being the scientist, it's almost like it repeated itself, although it said 2 different things. It was so similar sounding. It was really cool. After your stomach growls, and I said, you want a snack? When we wrapped up the 1st floor investigation, we all took a break, and that's why my recorder was near the bathrooms, and I had set it on a table outside of the bathrooms, and we captured, and it's right by the men's and women's dining hall, are right there too. Ma'am, you have to eat. Miss Stomach Girl.
My stomach just makes weird noises, okay?
But
I don't know what you want me to
again,
say.
though,
I'm
it's-
short, I got a little digestive system.
I'm just saying, we were talking about you having a snack, your stomach's growling, and then a ghost says, ma'am, you have to eat, which is near the dining rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Again, intelligent EVPs. These spirits know what's going on. I think they like being investigated too, except for that one under the stairwell. The 2nd floor, you pooped out on us. It was really late, so you went to bed. So Brian and I, we investigated the 2nd floor. And although we captured a lot of activity everywhere else in the building, we really captured nothing on the 2nd floor. And it could have been you weren't with us. Maybe you were the catalyst of all these EVPs.
My vibes just bringing the ghosts.
Maybe, because you're the one who heard the knocks. You captured the shadow figure. I mean, could be. But 2nd floor was kind of a wash. However, I do have a final clip. it for Ashmore Estates. Thanks for watching.
Like, comment, subscribe, hit the weird bell thing YouTube added. Join our Reddit. What's the Reddit? Isn't it like paranormal_evidence?
Yeah.
r/paranormal_evidence.
And look for new uploads on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Got a regular upload schedule.
Trying anyway. All right. Well, thank you. Bye.